Oh, hey there, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Tint podcast.
I like the way you say that, like they surprise, like, whoa, hey, you guys.
I was just sitting here, and all of a sudden,
they show up, and
the people came, and I was like, oh, hey, thanks for showing up.
Very nice, very nice, very professional.
Episode 13 of the Tint podcast, guys, and thanks for all the views that we get and everything that you do. We appreciate it.
We really do.
I'm telling you, there's going to be some serious upgrades happening very soon. We're not messing around, okay? So, you've stuck with us this far. It's only going to get better, and we just want to thank and appreciate all of you. And I'm Doug. This is Mark.
Hi.
And let's get into episode 13.
Let's just do it.
Yeah. So, real quick, I just want to give a shout out to my wife's friend. She's also my friend, Jerry. Because Jerry put on Facebook, hey guys, check out this show called Under Arrest. It's on Netflix. It's basically Canada's version of Cops. And let me tell you, it is off the chain. As the kids say, this show is crazy.
Kids say that all the time.
Man, these... You know, I don't want to overgeneralize Canadian people.
But do it.
All I'm going to say is...
For the sake of the show.
On this show, just about 99% of the calls they go to,
yeah,
everyone's trashed.
Everyone
and they want to fight.
Drunk.
And they want to just go. And it is
You wouldn't think Canadians were so violent. You wouldn't think.
I remember them to Michael Moore's thing where he's like, "Oh, y'all leave the door unlocked."
Hey, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you go like this over this side? No, not yeah. Yeah. You had an eyelash there.
Thanks, buddy.
I just saved the show.
Mm-hmm. That's why we're friends. You know, I want to strangle him sometimes.
All the time.
But yeah, it's really wild out there in the parts of Canada where
you wouldn't think though. Would you think that that's what it's like in Canada?
No, man. And you just saw one episode.
He forced me under he held me down and he's like, "Watch the show." I'm like, "I just want to get out of here," but he's like, "No," and he put the show on, and I started laughing my ass off.
Yeah. You get too loud, and then people back off.
Is that what they do?
Yeah. But I'll say this. This show is equal parts hilarious. But also sad, though. Because there's a real friggin' alcohol problem going on. From what the show showed. I don't know, we don't live in Canada. I'm just going off what the episodes have. And everybody's wasted. Every call. So, it's a very interesting TV show. Whether you're pro-police, anti-police, I think you don't care. I think pretty much everyone watches Cops. From Cops to friggin' criminals. Everybody watches Cops. It's been around for how many, 30 years or whatever the hell. This is Canada's version. It's crazy. And on Netflix. Check it out. Thanks, Jerry. What do we want to do?
By the way, everything's staged on that show. Just like it is on Cops, so don't believe everything you see.
Yeah, it's staged when the guy was biting. See, okay.
Don't believe everything you see.
The lady literally bites the guy in the leg, and it breaks the skin. And yeah, he was cool with that. Yeah,
that was one of those high-tech special effects.
From 1993.
From 1993. Was that when the show came out?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good show then.
Yeah. Ahead of their time. So let's get into it. Let's get into the...
Wasn't that it? Okay, let's get into it now, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do our weekly update.
Oh yeah.
It's time for the weekly Epstein update. Like when we're in the future, it's gonna be like there's gonna be a whole thing across the screen. Weekly Epstein update.
I really was gonna leave this Epstein thing alone.
No, you weren't.
I was.
Not at all.
Well, it's reported on by so many.
The amount of times you've told me,
not the news.
The amount of times you've told me about how, it's fake, it's this, he's not murdered, he's still alive, did you see all the girls, and, I'm sitting there just trying to eat my pie, and, it's just, it was key lime pie. It was good.
Stuff in your face, and I'm trying to give you
my face.
some knowledge.
He's just trying to pound the knowledge through my ear, and it was just a little too much, but at this point, it's a little too much not to realize that there's something going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I don't know if he's a reptilian transforming mutant from planet Exus, or if it's just a whole bunch of nothing.
Well, I'll tell you this. So the latest little update on this Jeffrey Epstein
It's got to be one of the
case
Yeah, go ahead.
is, shortly after he killed himself.
Yeah.
My first thought was that, obviously, he didn't kill himself. He was probably murdered. Or, option B, they got him out and he's still alive. Well, everybody thinks, oh, that's crazy. Oh, no, how could he be out there? No, that's too much. Too many people would have nothing. Okay, well then, now there's one of his bank accounts after his death got flooded with about $12 million, and then someone took out the money. And the judge is like, huh? What's going on here?
The judge said, huh?
The judge said, what?
What? I was like,
what? So yeah, $12 million, no big deal. It's just moving here, moving there.
Yeah.
There's nothing to it. And even one of his accusers just dropped a tweet very recently that's like, I'm not into conspiracies, but I'm thinking maybe he's alive. Wow. Yeah, no kidding. I only said that literally that day that it happened, but that's fine.
That's because you know all the answers. You have all the answers.
Well, it's because I know
that's why people tune in
when they're lying and
You're
how
like
they
an
present
oracle.
the lies. That if they tell you that he killed himself to death, then they probably somehow murdered him to life.
You know, there's two things that people depend on: the Oracle at Delphi and Doug.
Because I dropped that truth.
He does.
Yeah. So there's your weekly Epstein update.
Weekly Epstein update.
He's probably alive.
He's probably alive, molesting girls, living on a beach on some island somewhere. Richard Branson shows up in a plane. He's like,
I want to go to outer space.
Epstein, boy, I can't believe you. You got out, you're my friend. And they're high-fiving, and then they're having sex with young girls, and then, Richard Branson flies away, and then, Epstein, or whatever his name is, he's like twirling his mustache as the plane explodes. He's like, yeah. Did he have a mustache?
No.
Well, that was a movie I saw, but it was...
Yeah, that was a dream that you had. Once again, you keep talking about dreams and thinking that that was a real thing. Yeah.
Damn it.
Okay.
All right.
So there's Jeffrey Epstein update. Let's start the episode now.
No, what? We didn't start the episode 30 minutes ago when it started?
Still hasn't started.
Now we're gonna start like for real. This is like for real.
So I don't know if a lot of people out there
on
know,
the reels is what I like to say.
It's not been reported by, You know what's funny? I say that, but I never watch the news.
What are you talking about?
The first topic that we're gonna get into.
What's the first topic?
I'm literally trying to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm literally trying to ask you.
What do you call it? But I do get the paper every day because I want to do the crossword, and I just flimmed. I skim through it, and I look at all the BS.
You look at nothing. You're like, oh, and you throw half the paper away, and then you're like, oh, here's the crossword.
No, I'll look through the whole paper.
Will you? Yeah. Really, though?
Yeah, just to see the lies that they're
tell me some of the names of the writers that produce this paper.
I don't look at the writers' names. You tell me.
Abby Epstein and Cass.
And Jeffrey Epstein and...
No, John Cass. John Cass is the head editorial writer.
Okay, congratulations. You know that guy.
I know that guy. I know that guy. I win. In a way, I win.
A story that's been going on that
What's
nobody's really been... Would you shut up, dude?
Tell me.
That nobody's really been talking about is the fact that Paris firemen are on strike, and they're literally battling Parisian law enforcement. They're fighting in the friggin' streets. Have you heard about this?
Not until you mentioned it. I will admit I did not hear about it. And then we went onto YouTube, and somehow it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just nonstop.
It's just not on the news.
Yeah.
You'd think it'd be big news, but it's not.
Can I explain what the... Unless you want to.
No, you go explain it. I'm going to interrupt you 100 times.
All right. Touche. So it's the Paris Firefighters Union or whatever it is there. It's the Paris firefighters. They are very, very unhappy with the current changes that are happening to their pension, to their retirement fund.
Trying to cut their pension.
Yeah, they're just, at a certain point, a fireman could retire and then have a halfway decent life. Now they're trying to change that pension, the amount of money they make and when they can retire, and these people are not happy. It's a dangerous job. You go in. So here's the thing that I think that spurred it, okay? And this is a personal opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, okay? But Notre Dame burned down, okay? Notre Dame had a huge fire, burned down. And they said that, oh, well, we can't do this for public programs. We don't have the money for this. We don't have the money for that. And yet, a day after Notre Dame burned down, there were pledges of $100 million from rich people to rebuild it. Which is very strange. It's like, oh, we don't have the money for you to live a halfway decent life after you've retired from basically providing a service where you're, each time in danger putting yourself in danger. We don't have money for that. But this old cathedral burnt down, and every rich person has 100 million, 200, 300, 100 millions of dollars. They have that to give away just to make it. It just shows
you what they think is more important.
Yeah, it really does. Not the life. It's not the
lives of the working class.
No, it's not the lives of the working class. It is preservation of something because when they die, when those rich people die, there's going to be a plaque at the bottom that says, I gave some money to restore this part. And they're going to have immortality. They're not going to be conscious. There's nothing after death. I've said this many times. There's nothing after death. But they're going to have that plaque underneath, and apparently that's more important to them than giving this fireman who's worked very hard, who's provided a service that's it's
not everybody wants to do.
Not everybody wants to do, but it's needed. It's when someone is either in trouble because there's a burning building, or firemen usually come also when someone's sick, when someone's sick. Yeah, they come in medical emergencies. Mm. Usually they're trained to help first aid, and yet apparently they can't give them a reasonable pension. But
yeah.
France has plenty of millionaires and billionaires
who
pay them money for cathedrals and for the Champs-Elysees to make it a little bit wider.
So, first of all, you don't know what happens after we die, so you can stop saying that nothing happens after we die. Because you don't know what happens after we die.
I know.
Okay.
I went.
Spoken like a true ignorant person. And second of all, it's like, yeah, there's no money. There's never any money when, people need shit.
Yeah.
Right?
No, there's never any money when someone needs basic stuff.
Like food or
medicine or
shelter or something like that.
Those are wait, before you go on. Food, medicine, shelter, I would say are the three main ones, right? Would you agree with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a ton of homeless people, there's a ton of starving people, and people that just can't afford medicine.
Just the basics. But
then but then NASA is trying to go to Mars.
But there's money for that, right?
What the hell are we doing? Oh yeah, there's friggin' millions of dollars a day.
Yeah, probably.
To go to friggin'
millions.
There is. I know the number. It's like $5 million a day.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
50. Who knows? It's ridiculous. This money should. Hey, you want to go to outer space? Let's take care of people up here first, right? Let's make sure everybody here is good. And then we can start doing the other shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
Let's make sure everybody's got a roof over their head. Everybody can eat. Okay? Then when that's taken care of, now we can start doing the other thing. I was looking into it, and it was like the numbers for like fixing world hunger in 1 year.
Sure.
I don't know them offhand because I didn't even think I was going to talk about this.
Whatever it is.
But all it would take is for our military-industrial complex to take 1 day off.
And I have no doubt that that's a reality.
No, I looked into all of the numbers.
Yeah.
1 day to feed everybody. And then, go right back to the military shit that you need to do. 1 day would fix the whole year.
I agree. I agree.
So, yeah, it's crazy, man. Look into it. Paris cops fighting Paris firefighters. It's really
It seems
crazy.
insane. It seems like an insane thing, and yet it's happening.
Mm-hmm. Let's move on to topic number 2. And this is a local thing, so I don't know how many people know about this, but there's a YouTuber who made a video. I don't know any other content of this person.
No.
So I'm not trying to say like, oh, look at his stuff. No, I don't know. Either way. But I know he did this one video.
Thing. Yeah.
He did this one video that I think is very important. His name is Bennett Buzz. Okay, I'll put a link down to this video. And basically, what he did, and this is local, this is in our area.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not so much, but more people should do this. Because this is not like, this isn't a guy who's like, oh, I'm living in a fantasy world and I can fantasize. No.
I don't know what his other content is. I just know that he did this real thing.
Can I say? Okay. Yeah. So it's not like, I got these, huh?
Just don't yell.
Sometimes that.
I'm already with it.
All right. So, there's people who live in their sexual fantasy worlds and whatnot. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. But that's not what this is. He solicited a 13-year-old boy and then went to meet this 13-year-old boy at a Walmart. Except, whoopsie-doopsie, it turned out not to be a 13-year-old boy, but a grown man who was not really having it. He was not like, the guy shows up.
He basically catfished him.
He
went on Grindr.
The guy shows up.
He went on Grindr, pretended to be Grindr.
What?
Pretended to be a 13-year-old boy, and he got a hit. And somebody was like, yeah, I want to bang you. And so
he shows up, and he's like, and he tells him where to go inside the Walmart.
They go to meet at a Walmart.
Tell me that's not too perfect. It's a Walmart. Hey, show up at the Walmart. And he's like, yeah, I know where the Walmart is.
And then they had an arrangement where they were going to go have a sexual encounter in the bathroom.
In the bathroom.
At a Walmart. This grown-ass man with a 13-year-old boy. And so when he shows up, it's not a 13-year-old boy. And the guy starts calling him out. He's telling people that are walking by, like, this guy wanted to bang 13-year-old.
13-year-old boy.
He's got his Grindr photo. And then the guy turns around and is like talking to him. Like, he's like, oh, I knew it was a setup. I knew it was fake. That's why I came here. Like, oh my God.
But here's the thing. He's not 16, not 17, not 18. He's 13 years old. This is an adult who, in this situation, could basically have told this kid anything. Just get in my car, and then I'll take you this and this place, and then
who knows?
Never would have been seen again.
Who knows, right?
Never would have been seen again.
So anyways, look that video up. I'm pretty sure they blew this dude up on Facebook, and I think he got fired, and I'm pretty sure he's getting death threats and all this stuff. But the guy was like, oh, he's crying, and I don't care. You know?
Because
you got busted, dude, trying to hurt a kid. Like, how disgusting is this? And I'm so, like,
he's taking advantage of a child because this child, whether the child is gay or not, okay, that's fine.
Doesn't matter.
Whether the child is straight or not, whether the child, whatever, he's 13 years old.
Keyword.
He's a child.
Child.
Okay? So he's a child. And for someone to prey upon, because they have total anonymity on the internet. It's like, well, whatever, I can make up a fake name on the internet and then just meet you and do whatever I want with you. And then nobody knows.
Here's what's crazy to me. So, I think that in the back of the dude's mind, he might have thought that it was a setup or some kind of hoax or something.
Of course he did.
Right? But, here's where it gets crazy. He couldn't resist.
He couldn't resist coming
This is the most
checking
disgusting part. He couldn't fucking resist. He had to go on the fact that maybe it was real.
Maybe it was real.
Maybe it was real.
Well, we saw that show with, To Catch a Predator, where the guy gets busted twice. My favorite thing is the guy who gets busted twice and the guy who just walks in and just strips naked. He just strips naked, just walks in. It's like, yo, baby, where you at? And it's like, sorry.
It's Chris
I'm Chris Hansen, To Catch a Predator.
Oh,
and he's like, oh, excuse me. And then he crosses the legs.
Dude, I want to laugh, but I also want to rage. You know what I mean? It's
of course. I mean, they are manipulating a child. They are fucking taking some innocence. At least nowadays, we have. It's not as innocent as it was, but we have some innocence.
Well, that's by design.
Yeah,
that's by design.
But it blows my mind that somebody could get caught twice on To Catch a Predator.
They can't help themselves. They have to, it's the worst thing you can do to me.
Can I ask you a question?
It's the worst thing to do is to harm a child, man. That has innocence. Listen, nobody should be harmed ever.
Of course.
But there's a degree of
no.
A kid.
No. What you just said is no one should be harmed ever.
And being harmed means a lot of things. Stolen from, raped, hurt, punched.
No, hurt in a way, emotionally, mentally, physically, whatever.
Something happens bad against your will.
Can I ask you a question?
Yep.
What happens in the future when they invent, robots? And there are robots that can pretend to be childlike. And then someone buys a childlike robot to have sex with. That's a real question. That is going... If you think that's not going to happen, then you don't live in fucking our reality.
What does that mean? Is that good so that real kids don't get hurt?
No, I'm just asking you.
I don't know. I don't know how to wrap my head around that or process that, I don't want kids to be hurt.
Obviously, you don't want any human child who's,
anyone, but if that's a thing that works as a deterrent, Jesus Christ, I don't even know, man.
But that's going to happen. There's so many things going to happen.
Then the robot's going to reach pure AI level and be
and it's going to murder all of us. They're going to kill all of us.
They're going to kill all of us.
There's going to be human hunting parties where they hunt these beings, you know what I mean?
Well, that's real, right?
Human strategy.
You know that they hunt humans?
Yeah, I just saw a movie.
Look into it.
But,
which one? The one with the girl? Goes to the dinner?
No, it's an Asian movie.
Oh.
And it is...
That shit's real.
Really good.
But anyways.
Anyways. The reason I asked you that question is because there's going to come a point in time where they're able to create a childlike robot, and it's I'll have sex with it, or you're able to create a human-like robot, and you'll be able to shoot it and kill it, right? And human beings will do both. Do you doubt that?
No. Of course not. Of course they're going to do the worst
They're going to do
shit
both.
that they can to whatever in this scenario that you're talking about. But will it stop there?
I don't know.
I doubt it. For some reason, I doubt it. I think
people can
it's
be
just
very
like
ugly.
anything. It's just like serial killers or
listen,
anything like that. But hold
if
on,
our show
hold on,
means
hold on.
anything,
Hold on.
means anything, we got to talk about these things.
Of course, wait. So it's just like serial killers. What do? They start on animals. They torture and abuse animals, right? And then they have this fantasy of hurting someone, and then at some point, the fantasy no longer is enough, and that's when they go and start committing their crimes.
Yeah.
So the fact that...
But that's a jump.
But I'm saying, like, the fact that if it was a little kid robot, I don't know that would prevent this person from still graduating to the real thing. I don't know.
No, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. You know, right now there are dolls you can buy. There are female dolls that are very realistic.
Like little kids?
Pardon?
Like little kids you're talking about?
No. I'm talking about not little kids.
Like toy dolls.
Just like dolls of adult women, and people have them, and they talk to them. They do this. They do that. They have sex with them. They dress them up. They have this sort of psychosexual connection, but they also have like an intimate connection with this doll that basically the feedback it gives them is the feedback in their own mind. It gives them, what they're hoping to get. They're not getting any real feedback. They're just getting the feedback that they imagine. And that's a very popular company. I mean, these dolls cost like $5,000-$6,000, and yet people buy them. Whether it's a couple who wants to experiment with another female, but they don't want to bring an actual female in, or a male who wants to, have something to dress up and something to take pictures of. It might not just be purely sexual. It might be, you know what I mean?
No, because I don't understand it, but I understand that it's happening. I don't understand it.
Listen, I'm not going to spend $5,000 on a doll that
How
I'm
much?
saying.
How much? $100?
$5,000. I'd spend $100 if she was $100. No. All jokes aside, I wouldn't. There's a place you can go on the internet where you can, hire a female for this and this amount of time. For like $150, you get her for like, an hour or whatever. She looks this and this way. And she comes and you have, your sexual interaction. I could understand that slightly more than I can the doll. But there are a lot of lonely people. There are a lot of people who just want some sort of interaction with humanity. And there are a lot of people who just want sex. It becomes very complicated. When you are Jeffrey Epstein and you literally can bring a 14-year-old girl to an island, it is a very alluring for especially this young girl. It's like, oh, I know this guy. He brings you to a tropical island. All you gotta do
that's
is...
what they do. They get somebody else who paints it out to be this glamorous, amazing romantic thing, and then they get there and they're like, you better do this, and then if they don't do that, we're gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, no, not even. You're never allowed back here, and you're fucking up this situation for me. The one girl could
threaten them with violence when they don't. So, moving on to, it's not necessarily the next topic because it's kind of connected because, here we go, we're talking about friggin' pedophiles again. I don't want to talk about this shit.
And the robots who love them.
I hate that we keep having to talk about this, but the problem is that
it keeps coming out.
It's not recognized enough. Everybody should be up in arms over this stuff, but too many people, especially in Hollywood, get away with things that they should not get away with because there are parents who are very lenient and very much want their children to be stars, and then there are children very willing to do just about anything to please their parents and to please these people, and it's a vicious cycle. Am I wrong? Is when a kid becomes a paycheck,
then
all of a sudden people start turning a blind eye. And then the kid, okay, so what are we talking about? We're talking about Corey Feldman is going to be coming out next month with his documentary. Where he's going to name big names. Names. We're going to report on that shit, I promise you that. But the story today that came up is that he's hired 24-hour security because he's in fear of someone...
He's in fear of his life.
Yeah, someone killing him so that he doesn't put out this information. So, it's a systemic Hollywood friggin' problem
I think it's a problem throughout society.
It's not just Hollywood.
It's amplified in Hollywood.
Yeah, it's
because of the situation.
I would say Hollywood's part of it. It's a worldwide systemic problem, but Hollywood has a big, role in this, in their own thing. So, Corey Feldman's whole thing was that Corey Haim was literally raped when he was 11 or something like that. I don't know the exact information about that, but we'll look into it. We'll report on that. But he's coming out with this documentary. He's going to name the big names. He says he's gone to police and all this stuff. I remember when he was asking for $1 million, and people were like, "Why don't you just say the names?" And he's like, "No, I got to make a movie." So
yeah,
it's kind of weird, the whole thing. But my thing is this. Is Corey Feldman going to end up killing himself before March 9th? That's supposedly when this. He's going to air it one time only. It's going to cost $20, and it's going to be, the documentary where he starts dropping truth on what's really been going on. He did call out one of, I don't know if it was his agent or his assistant or something like that, but there was this dude, I think his name was Dan Cummings. He worked with him, turned out to be a convicted pedophile. Corey Feldman said this dude molested him. He lives in Mexico now, and he's not facing any charges. They can't go get him. So, we'll see what happens with this whole thing. If Corey Feldman can just stay alive to air this documentary, it should be very interesting.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see, man.
Well, let's talk about.
Yeah. I hate talking about this stuff, but we just have to.
Keeps coming up.
We just have to, so that if more awareness is raised for someone who didn't know that this was such a worldwide epidemic problem, that is just a little more aware, and one child gets, saved because someone saw some information and was like, oh, this is, if someone's just a little more, because these people take jobs to be around children. So be more aware of everyone that's in your child's school, in your child's daycare, in your child's, Boy Scouts, sports, all that shit. Just be more aware, and if one child gets saved because someone was like, man, this doesn't look right, then fuck, man, we did our job,
No, I agree. Let's quickly talk about Jussie, our best friend Jussie, because we live in Chicago. There's an election
Jussie.
about to happen.
Yeah.
The election for the Attorney General. So Jussie now, who was set free by Kim Fox.
Yeah. They dropped all the charges. But now they charged him again.
Now they charged him again. She's up for re-election. And she's like, wait a second. Maybe he did do something wrong.
Maybe he did stage a hate crime.
Yeah, maybe he staged a hate crime. Oh, for the love of Christ. Okay, I don't know about my friend here, Doug, but this friend here, Mark, gets very mad when people malign his city and call it a racist, Midwest haven for violence against, minorities or whatever the case might be. Because Chicago is one of the friendliest cities that you can ever visit. And for someone to say that, oh, two people in MAGA hats came up and put a noose around his head and poured bleach on his face, he can go fuck himself. And how about I get put into a room with him and I teach him fucking some...
Hold on. First of all, he said they were wearing ski masks. So he mistook the ski masks for the MAGA hats. And then the bleach that they poured on them was in like sub-zero temperatures. So when this story first broke, it angered me because we're from Chicago.
Me off like this.
We're from Chicago, so that angered me. And then second, I was like, this is complete and utter horse shit. He was downtown Chicago going to Subway, and there's like...
Yeah, they're just waiting for him.
Yeah, and then they knew who he was, Which, yeah, sorry that I'm not sorry, but nobody knew who the fuck you were, Jussie.
Or cares.
Or cared. But these racists knew him by name because they're such fans of the show Empire. It's so ridiculous. And but this whole thing is just turned into like a circus. And I knew it would. I knew it would, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say, screw Jussie. But to me, it's just another contrived story where someone sat him down and was like, hey, Jussie, here's the thing. We're going to need you to do this crazy dumbass shit. And he's like, oh, yeah. And they're like, yeah. And then now we are where we're at. So I think the whole thing is fake.
But whatever.
The whole thing is fake. Obviously, his initial claims were fake.
I think,
but the fact that he even did this, like, how are you that stupid that you're going to come up with this ridiculous
What I think
story?
it was is he was, he was in Empire. He's like, oh, I need to make some more money on Empire. And it's like, well, what would get me some sympathy points?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what would get me, get me a little bit of sympathy.
The biggest dumbass story that no one's ever going to believe.
Apparently.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you couldn't think of a better plan. This is falling apart literally just hearing the initial story.
These two poor Nigerian guys who are like, are you sure? They're like extras in the show. It's like, are you sure, Jussie, is this the plan is this the best thing you can think of? He's like, yeah, shut up, just come up to me, you're gonna pour bleach on me.
Didn't you pay him like $1,000?
Like $1,000 to ruin their lives. Ruin their lives.
And what's crazy too is they had the whole, they were held for like, if they would have lasted 48 hours, and if they didn't say nothing, they would have been fine.
Sure.
So then they crack in the 47th hour. You guys went 47 hours.
Well, then
you couldn't say anything. Yeah, look into that shit, dude. Look into that shit. They waited till the 47th hour and they're like, all right, we can't take it anymore. We could have waited one more hour, but we're going to tell you the whole thing was a hoax. Like, every aspect of the story is ridiculous. And, I'm just, it's going to just keep continuing. It's going to be your usual circus. How many times are they going to drop the charges, add more charges? Like, come on, man. I'm sick of it.
Whatever.
I'm sick of it. But yeah, so now we got to do a Jussie update.
Yeah, well, Jussie update every time, I guess. All right. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can.
So let's say you got a loudmouth girlfriend. All right? Let's say you show up somewhere. Hypothetical. You go to a bar, and you got this chick on your arm who just can't shut up, right? And she's talking shit to this guy, to that guy, to this guy's girl.
This sounds like the show Under Arrest in Canada.
When does it happen where you have to step in? You know what I mean? It's like she's like, well, yeah, you shouldn't be doing this, and you shouldn't be... And then the dude gets up because, he's with his girl, and he's like, what the fuck? Why don't you shut your girl up? And I'm like, at some point, I'm like, no, it's all her. And then at some point, I'm like, no, wait a second. Don't talk, because where's the line? Where's the line where she's just like, where you're just like, come on. Or where's the line where it's like, you better not talk about my girl like that or I will fight you physically.
The line is...
Tell me where that line is.
The line is...
Because it's tough to know.
Well, is this woman instigating shit? Right?
Always!
Is she... Not always. Is she the one that's instigating the stuff? Because there's been situations...
Yeah.
In many people's lives...
Sure.
Where a woman has, whether she's intoxicated or not, talked a lot of shit and stirred the pot and whatever it is, and people have been like, hey, well, now we got to beat up your boyfriend.
No, hey, listen.
So, whoa, I don't know, it's an interesting line.
Okay. So, here's the thing. When you're with a girl who wants, for some reason, whether it's to be affable or whether it's to be instigate something, it doesn't really matter. But when she talks shit and she's like, why are you doing this? Why are you like this? Why are you at some point you just want to be like, yeah, and then the dude walks up, well, what the fuck? And I'd be like, yo, it's she's got a big fucking mouth. Yeah, you do. You got a big fucking mouth, and he's a big dude. Lay into her. but please don't like hurt her very bad, because then I feel bad. And
that you didn't help.
Yeah, then I didn't help her. You know what I mean? But you know, I understand if it's a situation where, you know, some dude's like smacking this girl around and she's like, you better not smack that girl around. And he's, oh, then I gotta step in, right? But if he's like, your dress is ugly. And she's like, what'd you say? She's like, oh, you better not talk about an ugly dress. You got a big nose. You got a fine face. And then he comes up to me and he's like, why don't you control your woman? I'm like, I can't control this woman. I'm trying to. I'm like, oh, it's an ugly situation.
So if you're with someone who, like, you go out in public, and they just want to, like,
constantly
talk shit
butting at people's lives.
Yeah, don't go out with that person.
Don't go out with that person, because it's going to be a living hell. And she's like, one time I remember waiting in line to go into a bar. And you know, he's like, you know, he said something to this chick, and she's like, why are you telling her what to do? Why are you but no, just constantly going off, and he looks at me, and he stares me down, and I'm just like, well, I don't know. I can't control her.
That's people getting you into some shit. Yeah, you don't want any part of that.
I don't want
if you're out with someone and someone starts, you know, getting crazy with your lady.
Yeah, that's different.
That's different. But if your lady's the one that's starting all the stuff, I don't know if that person should be your lady.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I don't want drama.
No. For future reference. For future reference, let me tell you what. And I'm like, I don't know. You just
gotta find the right girl, dude. Because you've been with some, you know, people that got you into some shit, you know?
For future reference.
Although I will say, one time I was dating someone and we were driving and we were in an argument.
Yeah.
And we were in a busy part of Chicago where there's like people walking around or whatever, and the light turned green. It's late at night. People are drunk. This girl that I was with lowered the window and was like, "Get the fuck out of the way!"
Okay.
And I was like,
"Wow.
Okay. I don't like that." What if all these people started kicking my car and started doing all this shit?
Jumped out of your car and started beating you.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No.
You don't want that. In
okay.
your life.
So I'm glad we both agree on that subject. And here it is. Okay. This is the thing that, okay, now it's a timeout. It's a timeout. I gotta get into my thing. Go ahead.
I've done 2 Mandela Effect episodes, which they total like 4 hours. And this man signed off and was cool on letting me, you know, get into that subject. So now you want a few minutes to talk about your fucking thing.
This is all about me.
So this is you. So
and my anger.
Because you gave me the Mandela Effect, I'm going to let you go, homeboy.
All right. So, you know, I know my friend Doug here doesn't very much believe in politics. He thinks it's rigged. We can go on for eternity about it. But I have a certain belief in our political system, and I have a certain belief that when you have someone that you believe in that really has certain principles, has certain morals, has certain beliefs that you know this person, they're not faking it, they're not looking at what the polls say and they're like, oh, well, I believe in this because 90% of the people that, you know, support me believe in it. So now it's someone who just has known what's right and done what's right from the very beginning. That person is Bernie Sanders. He has, from the very start of his political career, been at the forefront of what we now call social change. Oh, he's been pro-gay, pro-woman, he's been pro... the fact that billionaires should not be the only ones that have a voice in our society. He's been someone who's believed this from the very start. He went to the University of Chicago. He protested against... He's in a picture with Martin Luther King Jr. He did things not because they were politically, beneficial to him, but because they were the right thing to do. And when the Iowa caucuses basically just collapsed because they didn't want to give the nomination to him, they found every way they could to give it to Buttigieg, and now New Hampshire was clearly a victory for him. When you have a person who, I don't care how old he is, I don't care if he's 1,000 years old, I don't care if he's 100,000 years old, but when it's someone who's just done what's right and knows what's right, and someone I can actually believe in. When I listen to most of these politicians, I know that there's gears in the back of their head thinking about how is it going to benefit me, how is it going to benefit my family, how is it going to benefit my situation in life. When I listen to Bernie Sanders, I for some reason just know he, like me, wants what's best. When that stupid bird landed on his little podium, anyone, if you believe in Christianity, if you believe in religion, if you believe in the miracles of Zuba Gooba, a bird landed on his podium, a wild bird landed on his podium. If that wasn't a sign from up above, or a sign that more exists and this is the right person, then I don't know what's going to move you. I literally do not know what's going to move you. If you consider yourself a Christian and you are skewing towards someone who's a misogynist, who has sex with porn stars, who leaves his wife to have sex with another woman, who talks about having sex with his daughter, if that is your candidate, then God bless you, but you are a piece of shit. And you should realize that all the people around you who believe in that and believe in just winning, you are pieces of shit, okay? You have no credentials when it comes to talking about being a Christian person with Christian values and helping your fellow man. So when the left, the side that's supposed to be our side, isn't 100% behind Bernie Sanders, it blows my mind, because I know, I don't know how I know, but I know this person is speaking from the heart. And the fact that everyone isn't on his side is looking, be middle of the road. Oh, well, not everybody needs health care. Not everybody needs a living wage. We can just, we can have it halfway. We're the billionaires and trillionaires and quadrillionaires, they shit on us, and that shit that rains down, we can rub our faces in their shit, and that is what we can build our society off of. Apparently, that's what our media wants us to believe, because our media is not to be trusted. Our media is useless. And one last thing, and if you are someone who believes in the truth, I would rather you watch Russian television, Deutsche World, German television, French TV, or even Canadian television, or watch stuff on the internet. YouTube, rather than watch the horse trash shit, frickin' what are turds? Then that's on ABC, NBC, and CBS, because it is not worth anything. Please go out there and vote, and please vote for someone you believe in. I'm not going to tell you to vote for Bernie Sanders. I would never tell anyone how to vote, but vote for what you believe is in your heart. Lipinski, I hate you.
Alright, so
Marie Newman.
There's stuff that you said there that I 100% disagree with, stuff that you said there that I agree with. Mostly the stuff about the media. And so we're entering, an election year?
Yes.
Well, we're in it. But, I don't know, man. I just, we have very different opinions on what's going on in politics.
Sure.
And
But it's fine.
I don't know. To me, I say don't vote. I would love to see the day when not one person votes. What do they do then? What do they do when no one votes?
That's never going to happen. Because
I know it's never going to happen.
Because let's say you're running. Let's say you're running for office. You'll vote, so there'll be at least one vote.
I say all the people, just nobody show up. Nobody vote.
Okay, so let's say like I said, so
thing.
they'll have one vote, and so they win because they voted for themselves.
Sure. Great.
So then, how did you win that?
There's no winning at this point. It's all a shit show. It's all fucking ridiculous.
Right.
It's rigged. Don't fucking get me started.
Here we go.
You said your piece.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You had your thing that you wanted to say. I mean, look, what? So in reality of politics, he in 2016 got sabotaged, no? So that Hillary could.
He literally got sabotaged.
Okay, so then why didn't he fucking start talking shit and being like, "This is bullshit. I won this shit."
He should have.
Yeah, he should have, but he didn't.
He didn't want Trump to win, so I can understand that he didn't want the opposition to win.
So he didn't know that everyone literally hates Hillary Clinton. Everyone hates Hillary Clinton.
Even I hate Hillary Clinton.
Everyone hates Hillary Clinton. She is fucking.
She does what she wants just for herself.
She's a friggin'.
She's a reptilian.
She's a reptilian blood witch. All right, so
all right.
Yeah, no.
Come on.
Listen,
Okay.
You had your say.
Yeah.
His opinion.
Okay.
Right. You guys do your thing.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah.
Which would you rather? Which would you rather?
Time to close it out.
Time to close this showdown.
Yes.
Which would you rather? You were part of the zombie apocalypse, or you're part of the alien invasion.
What do you mean I'm a part of it?
Either
I have to fight
you
it?
have to stop the zombie apocalypse,
Yeah.
or you have to stop the alien invasion. Which one, if you had to choose, like, oh, I gotta do one, I gotta do the other, okay, there's gonna be a zombie apocalypse, everyone around you is gonna turn into a zombie, or you have all of humanity to take on the alien invasion. Which one would you rather? Yeah, you didn't think it was going to be that simple, did you?
I mean, the alien invasion. Have they not already invaded?
No, but I'm talking seriously. Let's say.
We don't know. I don't know.
Let's say. Which one would you rather do?
I think like it'd be easier to kill zombies. Don't get caught in a horde, because then you're going down.
Yeah.
But who knows what technology the aliens have?
I can't believe for once you're on what? Yeah, I'm totally with you there, because if they have the ability to travel through space at these vast distances from like other stars,
we're fucked.
There is no chance for us.
No.
Like zombies, like, oh, we board up the house and we're like, okay, we're halfway decent. With freaking aliens that came from 10 stars away, who can, travel through space and time and can warp space and time, who can, like, appear out of nowhere. Yeah, there's no chance for us with aliens. With, like, zombies, it's like, hey, okay, we stab them in the brain, okay, we poke them in the head. Yeah. We're kind of on top. With aliens, there is no chance.
In The Walking Dead, we've stopped watching it, right? But
I stopped watching. I love that show, and then I stopped watching it.
It's just I can't watch it anymore. But wasn't there a time when they were just like not even poking them in the brains anymore?
Yeah,
they just jab them here or jab them there.
Wherever.
It's like, you gotta get the brains.
But that show was the biggest letdown. No, the biggest letdown was obviously Game of Thrones. But that was the second biggest letdown for me, because I loved that show. I thought it was so great. And then they just made it so stupid. They made it as stupid as any stupidity could ever be. And it was it was like heart-wrenching.
It took me out of it completely when they killed Carl and then they got rid of Rick. It was like the whole show was
Well, that's
Rick.
the show. That's
the
the show right there.
was Rick, and now he's gone. But you killed Carl before that? Like, Carl should have been the one
who made it.
Who just... He should have taken over the show.
Yeah.
Right? The torch should have been passed to Carl. He killed Carl.
Who are these people? Who are you people who write these shows? You are fucking idiots. You are fucking brain dead, you morons. Like, my asshole could write shit better than...
I can't wait to watch Star Wars so we could talk shit about that.
Just wait, because there's going to be a whole lot coming about your fucking garbage that you people put out. Okay? Once in a while, you put out a halfway decent movie, but most of the time it's trash.
It's the side shit. It's the side shit that's good. The main
it's
Star
all
Wars
trash. Come on.
Everything's trash.
All right, I think that's it. All right, I think we had a good episode.
Zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
You know.
You got a big zombie apocalypse. Aliens, they're gonna wipe you out. Get real.
One phaser.
We're all gone.
Yeah.
All right. So, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. And listen, listen, guys. We're not shitting around. A serious upgrade is coming very soon.
It is going to come. That's not a joke.
This whole show is going to look completely different.
And we really hope that you stick with us.
We're going to look at these first 13, 14. By the way, it's going to be like 2 more episodes maybe until we're
Can I say
make
something?
the transition.
Yeah, about 2 or 3
You're going to look
episodes.
at these old episodes and you're going to be like, what the fuck? You're going to spit on them.
I would like to say that to the 200 or 300 people who've watched this episode in the past week, and just the lackluster, it's one static shot, nothing happens, I never take off my pants or, I never do nothing, it's just static. Something great is coming, and it's all because of you, and we appreciate you so much more than you know. We really and truly appreciate everyone who's watched. I don't know who you guys are, but from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you tuning in. Truly.
Yes. Thank you, guys. We love you.
Yeah, well, that's going nuts.
We don't love you. Well, I do.
We don't hate you.
You're not a pedophile. If you're a pedophile, don't watch this show and go fuck off.
Yeah.
But all the rest of you guys.
Yeah, watch the show.
We love you. Watch the show, and it's going to get better.
All right. Thank you. All right. I appreciate you tuning in. Have good night, good day, whenever you're watching this.
Bye.
Bye.